Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I am back with another review. And this is a review I wasn't planning on doing for quite a while, but, you know, the Amazon gods smiled upon me, and this, that, and the other thing. So, here it is, without further ado. This is Cyberverse Ultra Class Shockwave. This is from the Wave 2 of the Cyberverse figures. They are starting to hit Amazon now. And I have to tell you, this guy's pretty cool. He's actually more articulated than most of the Generation or Studio Series figures. First, I think, since it will come up in conversation, let me just fix him up here. But we, of course, have to talk about his Wave 1 counterpart, Warrior Class Shockwave. You can see that there is a massive difference in height, and there is, while the general colors are the same, you do have some more detailing picked out on the larger figure, like silver here in the chest, a different shade of neon pink, picking out the energon in the arms and what have you. And what's really interesting is, if you can tell, there is a difference in molding to the head. This one has more of an angry, sullen look to his eye, whereas this one is the more traditional Shockwave expression. But yeah, other than that, they do share some similarities. Basically, the inobtrusive gimmicks, a much more articulation than the other figures in their class. And let me just get rid of the Warrior class here, and let's talk about that articulation. Head can rotate. That's something the Warrior class figure can do. You have full movements in the arms, bicep swivel, elbow. The only difference here is on the gun arm. It is just a swivel. There is no bicep swivel. You have waist articulation. You have ball joints in the hips that can give you a little bit of rotation there. Knee bend. Forward and back foot articulation, as well as ankle pivot, something that a lot of figures don't have. I'm not usually big on articulation. I like the overall fun and form of the figure, but I have to say, if you were someone who really were lauding Warrior Class Shockwave as the best Cyberverse figure, then I think you're going to be really happy with this figure. Now, the gimmick can be activated in this in robot mode, which is something a lot of the other figures can't do. You can see here on the side there's this whole trigger and pull mechanism. So if you were to just come in here and just pull back, you go ahead and extend the Fire Blast gimmick. You know, much like the Warrior figure, but this time the cannon's on the shoulder. Just like that. And you can see that it's, you know, roughly the same sort of effect, just a little bit different. I think drawn differently. You know, on the Warrior figure, it's a wave cannon. On the Ultra figure, it's a shock blast. But yeah, that is nice to have. Kind of makes sense. So, one thing I just noticed here on the arm, he has a Decepticon symbol that's basically colored in by the effect piece. So that's actually a nice little addition there. Other than that, there's really not much more to talk about the figure in this mode. So we'll pause and we'll get into transformation. Okay, transformation is surprisingly complex, and you know, it's the best thus far of any of the Ultra Class figures. I said in Wave 1 I like Grimlock the best. Shockwave's overtaken him. To start off, first thing you want to do is give yourself a little room here. Move the arms out of the way. Rotate the legs around. They will snap into place, or I should say gently friction into place behind. Next, turn the figure around, and what you want to do is go ahead and open up the arm here, and when you get to this point, you want to rotate the whole unit bicep there, so that this little trigger mechanism is pointing towards the other arm. Then you're going to continue rotating it down, and there are teeth here on the underside of the cannon and a little peg there in the arm that are going to sort of clip into place there on the back. So you have the gun arm there situated on the back. The next step is, and this is, let me just say right now, this is the second time I'm having to film this transformation video because I screwed up and I made a mistake. You're going to go into the torso here and pull out this arm section. First of all, the instructions show the this piece being at an angle. That's really not accurate. It should be clicked down like that. But the other thing is you do have an ability to actually over push it in, and I had to use a spudger to get this out. But you're basically going to pull this out. It'll click into place here at the shoulder, and then you just want to go ahead and bring this up and then continue straightening the arm out, and then fold out what will be the foot for the tank mode, just like so. So it's just, you're basically just unfolding it from the side. So for lack of a better term, Shockwave has a fake arm in his torso. That's a really nice addition. Next, what you want to do is grab this chest piece, flip it upward, just like so. So now you'll have the arms basically like that, one forward, one back. Bring this arm around like so. Then you can go ahead and come over to this arm and flip the forearm piece around so it will just like that, so it'll form the other foot. And this chest doesn't really lock into place, so it might flop forward. That's okay, I guess. And then you'll have the arms just like this. Go ahead and rotate them now at the bicep. The instructions have you do it later, but there's no reason not to do it now, where you can have them facing forward. Come down around to the legs. You're going to bend the knees until they soft click into place. Do that on both sides. Bring the figure down and around. You can worry about posing in a moment. The final step is you're going to come around, rotate the whole cannon forward so it's facing forward like that. And then really all that's left is to position and fiddle with the tank to get it into whatever position or design you want. Okay, and you know, here I've brought in the Warrior class Shockwave, and as you can see, this is a somewhat similar but yet different tank mode. Obviously, there's different things you can do with it in terms of positioning. You know, here let me bring the arms down a little more like that. You know, like that, and really go to town there, and you know, position and all that stuff. And you know, here I have the, you know, what's nice is once you move those forearm covers, you can bend the elbows backward, and the gimmick does work in this mode. Here you have the trigger right back here, so just go ahead, pull it back, and it is a little tight though, and I do notice that it does end up wanting to pull off, but there we go. Yeah, I noticed that this is the spring mechanism here is all a little tight on that cannon, but can shoot out. And like I said, the spider tank is very articulated because you're using the same joints from the robot mode. But yeah, just again, a different look, you know, different shades of neon and pink for these various robot modes. So I guess really now we'll just pause and I will give you my final thoughts. I think it's safe to be said that if you were only going to buy one Cyberverse Ultra class figure, it's got to be Shockwave. I mean, the articulation's there, the transformation is fantastic. It's really a cool figure. There's nice little detailing in there. Like here on the inside of the arm, you have these little shells there, like it's a clip being loaded into the cannon. It's just a much better figure than the other Ultra Class figures were. Not to say that the other ones were bad. They serve a purpose. These all serve a purpose. These are supposed to be kid-friendly. But it just seems to me that the Shockwave figures, both Ultra Class and Warrior Class, had a little more effort put into them. These are hitting Amazon now. As far as I know, they haven't been found anywhere else. It's about $20, and I think it's $20 well spent. I mean, if you're only going to buy one Cyberverse figure, get Ultra Class Shockwave. I think you'll be very happy with it. This is your old pal Chuck for Shockwave. We will see you next time.